Hello, I'm Catherine Bruce. Today we're continuing our industrial lighting segment for the Bright Ideas series. Joining us remotely is Jacob Palumbo, the director of High Bay Lighting. In our last episode, we analyzed some trends and concerns for industrial spaces. Today, I'd like to focus on products and what goes into designing and developing a quality product for industrial spaces. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Catherine, thanks. Yeah, from a fixture quality standpoint, there's a lot of things that determine the quality of a fixture, especially in challenging industrial spaces. And so the first thing you're going to start with is components. And talking about quality, you can't talk about quality in industrial without proper surge protection. And so challenging power quality environments are prevalent in industrial spaces. And the best way the fixture is designed to handle that is with a robust front end. And so look for a 6 kV surge protection tested to ANSI standards on the spec sheet. That's going to make sure that fixture can absorb and survive in these challenging power quality environments. A lot of fixtures on the market today don't have these. So that's a really big differentiator. The second thing is what drivers are being used in the industrial fixture. There's a huge variation in how long that driver lasts. Quality top tier drivers could last as long as 100,000 hours. Some of the lower end drivers could last 50,000 hours or less. And so, in an industrial space, that could be only a few years before your fixture fails.
Wow.
That's not something is actually on the spec sheet very often, the driver life. And so it's important to really go with a manufacturer who uses these quality components in the fixture. And then finally, the LEDs themselves. And so the LEDs are going to determine in a big way the lumen maintenance of the fixture. And really that's how long your fixture will give off the initial light output. Low quality LEDs, you could see as much as 30 or 40% light loss within the first 5 years of the fixture's operation. And that's really poor for an LED system. And so with better LEDs, you could see really nice lumen maintenance numbers where you're losing minimal light over that same time period. So the LEDs definitely drive the quality of the fixture. When you have the quality components built in, the other part of the process really comes down to the manufacturing. And a quality manufacturing process ensures the product can be built consistently, correctly over time, and it assures that the fixture works to the customer. And so these are all things that are really important when thinking about a manufacturing process.
So what are some of the consequences when you have a poor manufacturing process?
Yeah, so when you don't have a good control over your manufacturing process, the thing that could happen is the fixture shows up and it doesn't work, or the fixture is not built correctly. And so that's really a big issue when the installer is going to install the fixture. The fixture, there's something wrong with it, and that really delays projects and is a big headache. So design for manufacturability, 100% end-of-line testing, traceability throughout the entire process. These things are really key. And again, this is not something that's on a spec sheet from a fixture. So it really behooves the customer to go with a product from a name brand they trust, that they know knows how to make this product correctly and consistently.
So with the manufacturing process, what are some consequences if it is poorly manufactured?
Well, the consequences are that the fixture may not be built correctly. It may not work out of the box. And that's a big headache because, the installer is going to install the fixture and something's not right about it. And so when you're 100% end of line testing the fixture, when you're, have a robust process to ensure consistency, then you just have a much lower chance of having issues. And again, it's hard to know off a spec sheet what manufacturing processes are being used. So it really behooves, the customer to go with a brand that they know and trust, that stands behind the product from both a design but also manufacturability standpoint.
Right, someone that has long-term stay in the industry, that has a manufacturing process that's tried and true, I would assume. And besides manufacturing, are there other factors that contribute to the quality?
Sure. So you've got to start with the high quality components. You've got to have the proper LEDs, the proper drivers that are going to stand up in these harsh industrial environments. Um, but then it becomes more about the design. How do you put these things together? And so making sure the fixture can properly dissipate heat and the fixture can operate in a hot environment where your LEDs, where your drivers are operating in their safe temperature area, that's going to really ensure the fixture can perform in real spaces. Thinking about other things like future proofing, so you can upgrade the fixture later from a component standpoint. All these things really come into a components, a design, a manufacturability standpoint.
So if a fixture is poorly designed, poorly manufactured, what are some of the most common issues you'll see?
Really what you're going to see is a possibility of premature failure, and also you're going to see early degradation of the fixture. And so you could see accelerated lumen loss over time, so poor lumen maintenance. You could see the fixture either fold back thermally or shutting off due to high ambience. You're going to see really an overall stressing of the system that will keep your fixture from performing at its full output, and it can end up in really just luminaire failure.
And when you have a failure or you see a fixture performing improperly, what can be done?
Well, it's really important the fixture's been designed with serviceability in mind. When you think about LED, you're thinking a long life. You're thinking, low maintenance over a long period of time. That's only possible if your fixture is serviceable. And so many fixtures on the market today, you can't service the LEDs, you can't service the drivers. And so looking for a fixture that allows you to do that, that's really an important factor.
Well, thank you, Jacob. These are really important considerations to think about when choosing an industrial lighting fixture. Appreciate your time today. Please watch our next episode to wrap up our industrial lighting segment. We'll be joined by an electrical distributor who has witnessed the best and worst in industrial lighting.